In the midst of Gaza's escalating crisis, two of Europe's oldest powers have made a pivotal move. France and Britain are stepping toward official recognition of a Palestinian state. This is their attempt to stop the fighting and salvage the dream of two countries for two peoples. The announcements came within days of each other, signaling a coordinated European shift. President Macron declared France's intent to grant recognition at the UN in September. Prime Minister Starmer said Britain would follow unless Israel commits to ending the war and the two-state solution. While some dismiss this as political posturing by unpopular leaders, the stakes are too high to ignore. But if most of the world already recognizes Palestine, why does this move by two former empires matter now? It's true that 147 of the 193 member states of the United Nations already recognize Palestine. This fact has, until now, changed little on the ground. However, France and Britain are not just any countries, they are permanent members of the UN Security Council and core members of the G7. Their diplomatic weight is intended to create a cascade effect among other Western nations. The strategy rests on a simple theory: shock. The hope is that Israel's government, led by Benjamin Netanyahu, will be stunned by the loss of long-term allies. To avoid becoming a pariah state, Israel might be pressured toward peace. The logic seems to be working, as Canada quickly announced it would follow suit. Britain carries the added weight of history, having issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917. This makes its changing position uniquely significant. But what if this diplomatic shock therapy produces the opposite of its intended effect? The first major problem is that this move could backfire spectacularly. Rather than concede, Mr. Netanyahu's government is more likely to dig in its heels. Many in his coalition believe that yielding to European pressure today will only invite more demands tomorrow. The second problem concerns leverage. By granting recognition now, Britain and France play their most valuable diplomatic card up front. They deprive themselves of influence over the Palestinian side in any future difficult negotiations over territory and security. This is no small concession to make. Britain's conditional offer reveals the strategic flaw most clearly. Sir Keir Starmer has threatened Israel but made no similar demand of Hamas to release hostages. This gives Hamas an incentive to block any ceasefire until after recognition is granted in September. Once Hamas pockets this diplomatic prize, Britain's leverage over Israel evaporates. This reveals a deeper truth about where real power in this conflict lies. Ultimately, both Britain and France have the most influence over Israel indirectly, through the United States. America is the only power that can genuinely press for a ceasefire and keep the prospect of peace alive. Yet by unilaterally moving to recognize a Palestinian state, these European powers risk losing influence with Washington. This is the central paradox. In a sincere effort to end a tragic war, Britain and France have chosen a tool that may weaken their own standing. Their policy may make a lasting peace harder, not easier to achieve. They have placed a bet that could cost them, and the region, dearly. Like subscribe and share to stay ahead of the curve.